out of the way.
Get it out of the way.
All right. The Timu comments, just disappointed, surprised?
Well, you know, nobody likes hearing anything negative about themselves in anything. But so in that sense, I'm a little disappointed. But I understand the frustration. You have to understand when he said those things, it was like, you know, right after Game 7, and I could see the frustration was everybody. If you had to talk to me at that time, I would have been frustrated about certain things as well. So when you're, and I've said this before about, Timu, when you're a great player your whole life, you want him to want more and to be the best guy and everything else. So I understand where he comes from. Didn't like to hear that, in a book, but I understand, and and I'm sure it was in frustration more than anything else.
Now, with Timu going, how much does Getzlaf have to step up? Is that a big step for him to be a leader on this team?
Getzlaf was a great leader, and in the past 2 years, I don't think he has to do an. I think he just does what he does, and that shows incredible leadership. I mean, he's as good as I've seen as a captain or been with in the years that I've been coaching. So I don't want Ryan to do anything different than he's already done.
Bob talked about the fact that the leadership group is not going to be just the captain and the alternates.
Yes.
That it's going to be a little more widespread.
Well, I think we have a group here that has 5 or 6, maybe even more guys that are right into that leadership group. And we will do a lot of things by talking to the leaderships rather than just talking to one player or 2 players. And I mean, they might be a spokesman for all 7 or however many we have, but and one guy come in, but it might be a different guy at all times. But let's make no mistakes. We have a leadership group, and it's a good one. But Ryan Kesler is the captain.
Bruce, it took a little longer for Ryan Kesler to get here, but just what he brings to this team ultimately.
Well, I'm really excited to see Ryan. I watch him work out. He works so hard, and the one thing I may be off base and just hoping that this is what I'm thinking, but I think I'm seeing what I'm seeing, if that makes any sense, is he wants to be the best. Every shift he takes, he wants to be the best player out there, and he doesn't take shifts off, and that's what I've seen in his skating. Just when I've watched, you happen to watch them practice a couple times before camp, and I assume camp is going to be the same thing. And he looks like he's in tremendous physical condition, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a real blessing that we've got him here.
Can you just describe the options he gives you and how it might make Getzlaf's life easier, just face-offs, matchups, that type of thing?
Well, I think matchups, number one, is like a lot of times last year when you went power versus power, maybe at home we get the opportunity. I can sit there and I can put Kesler's line out or Getzlaf's line, because most of a lot of the really good centermen are big, strong guys in the Western Conference. The Kopitars, the Thorntons, Hansels, and you can go down the line. But I mean, so you have 2 big centermen going against anybody, and guys that have been on their country's teams that know how to win and know how to play. I mean, Kesler's been to the finals. Getzlaf's won the cup. I mean, these guys know. And I really like. Don't get me wrong. I really like Bonino, but you got 2 really big, bona fide number 1s right here.
Bruce, Bob talked about the fact that maybe a difference in change in philosophy this year, but just get in. Let's not worry about finishing first, but let's just get into the playoffs and move on from there.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard thing to say because you want to win every game, but I mean. I think we've done the divisional stuff and we've done the Western Conference champions, and I think the big thing now, I mean, and it's a long ways away, is to get further in the playoffs. But I mean, you can't just sit there and say let's wait till the playoffs and go from there. If you look at the division and the conference, it's 82 games of tough sledding to get there, and especially with our start. I mean, we're playing a lot of really good teams early on in the season, and so we have to be ready right from the get-go. So, we won't be happy if you win the President's Trophy and you lose out in the second round. But we got to get there.
It seems like a league-wide trend. A lot of teams are saying the same thing. Pittsburgh, San Jose. I mean, is there more? You see what's happened over the past few years. Is it more an emphasis on the process in the regular season, getting yourself ready to play the kind of hockey you have to play?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think, and at the same time, make sure you're being successful in that process, because you know, I mean, I'm not a guesser, but I mean, a lot of teams have said, you know, you're going to need over 100 points in the West to get in, and to get 100 points, you have to play awful good the majority of the time. So our process, as it has always been, is we take it week by week. I mean, we'll make goals every week. This is our goal this week, and then by the end of the year, hopefully, our goals have been reached, and we can go on further. But if we sit there and say 6 months down the road, this is what it's going to be like, and it's too tough to comprehend how tough that is, that far away.
Is there? No, I'm sorry. What do you want to see out of your two young goaltenders to know, you know, who's going to get the majority of the minutes, how they're going to adjust to being full-time guys?
Well, you know, I think what I want to see is them stop the puck. I mean, I don't know how much more simple it is than that. They're there to. It's, you know, I mean, whoever's playing the best is going to be playing the best. So it's an inner. They're both good friends, but it's an inner competition as well. And and there's going to be times during the course of the year when one of them is hot, and they'll get the majority, and then the other one is not. But then the other one will bounce back, and hopefully it coincides perfectly with, you know, maybe one of them needs a little bit of a rest because they've played a lot, and the other guy can come in and do the job.